we go then. We've been around the world from Melbourne in March to Abu Dhabi here in November, and we have reached the final round of the 2018 Formula One season. Congratulations to Lewis Hamilton, Drivers' Champion, to Mercedes, Constructors' Champion for the 5th consecutive year, and well done to everyone that's given us brilliant entertainment throughout the previous 20 races. We're set fair for a dramatic night under the lights here in Abu Dhabi. Arabic for Father of the Gazelle, who is going to spring to the top of the podium come the end of 55 laps this evening. Abu Dhabi, the Yas Marina circuit, hosting its 10th Formula One World Championship Grand Prix, the most expensive F1 venue ever constructed. And that's Ferrari World. Ferrari haven't had success on the track necessarily here, but it is an amazing place to go and have some amusement time.
He needs to keep him over the left.
But he's going to try and dive down. The inside, they have crashed. They've gone into each other. Is Leclerc actually going to go for it here? And oh, he can't stop. And he has gone straight on into Brendan Hartley. You could see that that was coming. Might have a bit more trouble on his hands as Sebastian Vettel goes down the inside on Valtteri Bottas. Tires it out of the race. Sebastian Vettel. He has been leading almost from start to finish, but now he's out of this race. And there's locking up in a crash, and Fernando Alonso goes over the top there of Charles Leclerc's Sauber.
Side by side, look at Hamilton alongside Vettel. Oh, so close. He'll struggle to get round there.
They touch Martin. Hamilton and Vettel has been spun round. Disaster for Sebastian Vettel at the start of this race. As through and smooth goes Sebastian Vettel and Max Verstappen, and Sebastian Vettel has come off worse. More contact down at turn 12 and another car spinning off. As Ricciardo into Sebastian Vettel. They've rammed each other. For the first time in 113 years of races, the checkered flag for him as a winner. Kimi Räikkönen wins the US Grand Prix. It's high fives for Lewis Hamilton, a 5-time champion of the world. That is Max Verstappen, the race leader, and he has spun coming down the hill, and there's a Force India there as well. Is that Sergio Perez? Did they make contact? But Leclerc really fancied with some top speed down there and move, and that is the Renault of Hülkenberg going over and over and over and out of this race. And that is Nico Hülkenberg. The Hypersoft tyre, one of 3 compounds brought by Pirelli, who will be in Formula One for a further 4 years after winning the new contract. Ultra soft and super soft are the tyres that complete the set. There is an official risk of rain of 40% here today. We might need the intermediates and the wets. Here's the starting grid then. A Mercedes 1-2 on the grid here for a 5th year in a row. 57 front row lockouts in total. Hamilton on pole, Bottas alongside. It's an all-Ferrari row 2. Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Räikkönen, who won here from 4th in 2012. Daniel Ricciardo starts 5th. Max Verstappen, for the 3rd year running, starts 6th here. And behind them come Romain Grosjean with his best ever start in Abu Dhabi, and Charles Leclerc in the Sauber. Esteban Ocon is 9th for the 2nd year in a row here. Nico Hülkenberg keeps him company, and 1 spot behind Hülkenberg, his teammate for one final time, Carlos Sainz. Marcus Ericsson with his best start in Abu Dhabi is 12th ahead of Kevin Magnussen, and Sergio Perez, his worst ever start at the Yas Marina circuit. Fernando Alonso is 311th and final for now. Start is 15th. Brendan Hartley alongside him and ahead of Pierre Gasly, and Stoffel Van Dorn has been beaten in every qualifying session by Alonso this season. The 2 Williams complete the lineup. Sergei Sirotkin ahead of Lance Stroll, and for only the 2nd time this season, not a single grid penalty to be had.
That's it, fellas. Thank you. Have it.
Of course, Daniel Ricciardo relating there to leaving Red Bull after this evening and going to the Renault team. What do I think Fernando Alonso can do? Not a whole lot, I'm afraid. I don't think he's got the absolute speed, but we do know that he'll be giving it full beans for the entire Grand Prix.
All right, champ, here we go. Millions and millions of people watching. Got everyone here at McLaren cheering for you. Let's go out with a great race.
Yeah, let's do this, guys. We will give it all. As always, very proud of you.
Daniel Ricciardo slotting his Red Bull into P5 has promised us all something to get excited about this evening. He said, don't worry, you won't be struggling with something to say if I've got anything to do with it in terms of the race. there's action coming. Well, we'll see on that one. Lance Stroll right at the back of the grid. Might just hear something about his driver announcements in the next few hours here in Abu Dhabi as well.
You can see the extended yellow line to the left, so the drivers can see exactly where they're parking.
Green light then waved at the back of the grid one more time. It's lights out and away we go. And it's a good start from Hamilton and from Bottas. And Sebastian Vettel trying to catch the Mercedes. Behind them comes the Rebel. And for Daniel Ricciardo just behind Kimi Räikkönen and Max Verstappen. I don't think it's on the best start out there. Going wide is Romain Grosjean through turn one. He's lost places to the Force India of Ocon and Nico Hülkenberg. And there's Max Verstappen right behind the Force India. What happened to him off the line, Martin Brundle?
Indeed, and I think Fernando Alonso had an appalling first corner for good measure. He got ran out wide and has fallen back down through the field, just watching his start, 4 abreast on the way in to the turn 7 hairpin, and then they've got a very long first straight.
Lewis Hamilton leads the pack down the back straight. There's the Toro Rosso of Brendan Hartley behind the McLaren. There is Charles Leclerc going wheel to wheel with Daniel Ricciardo into the chicane. Ricciardo breaks latest and makes the corner, but Leclerc really fancied with some top speed down there and moved, and that is the Renault of Hülkenberg going over and over and over and out of this race, and that is Nico Hülkenberg against the barrier. Flames coming from the back of that Red Bull, taking a tumble and being punted off the track, and that is a worrying accident to see at the start of this race.
Are you okay, Nico?
I'm hanging here like a cow.
Yeah.
Get me out, there's fire.
Yeah.
There's fire.
It's all right, they're coming. They're coming.
Well, Hülkenberg is okay. The fire has been put out. See the marshal there with the extinguisher. A round of applause from the fans. Carlos Sainz, so Hülkenberg and Grosjean there, tangling. It was on the exit of the chicane. Grosjean tried to fight back. He just clipped the underside of that Renault, sending it into the barrel roll.
I don't think Grosjean did anything wrong. He was always there, or thereabouts. Yeah, Romain Grosjean did nothing wrong there. And yeah, the rollover hoop did a good job. You're going to have to get up very early in the morning if you're going to outbrake Daniel Ricciardo into a corner, as Charles Leclerc found out. So I would imagine that Grosjean was in the blind spot of Nico Hülkenberg there.
So he wouldn't have seen where he was, and his mirrors was taking what he thought would be a normal and best line through the second part of the chicane.
And also, as they're on low throttle angle there, he may not have heard enough till you hear your rival. And that is Verstappen right at the inside there, and that was very bold indeed.
On Esteban Ocon, no contact. Ocon's going to fight back though, and he's entitled to do so, of course. This is for position on the opening lap, or the opening lap of proper racing, really. Ocon ahead of Perez, ahead of Verstappen. The two Force Indians have both got the Red Bull.
It looks to me as if...
Wait, engine hot!
And Verstappen losing power with his engine overheating.
Yeah, it didn't look like he got enough power to pull the skin off a rice pudding down the straight there. Both Force Indians straight back past him.
But he's getting a good slipstream, isn't he? And guess what? Under braking, he might fancy a go here, and he does. Late braking for Max Verstappen. He's cleared one Force India. He's got Esteban Ocon to come. Is Verstappen going to go down the inside again? You know what he is? And it had to be, didn't it? Max Verstappen getting past Esteban Ocon, but was there contact there? Ocon certainly getting out of the way before there was too much contact for the Force India and the Red Bull to take, but he's fighting back again because they've got the top speed down the straight. Ocon is back ahead of Verstappen, pulls across him. Verstappen's going to have to go the long way around the outside, and Ocon has him covered off for now.
I think that repass there might have saved Max from a little word from the stewards. Now he's the one who'll get DRS and a great run down into turn 11.
But the inside line goes to Esteban Ocon, who cuts back in front of Verstappen again. Now Verstappen's got the inside line. Into the chicane he goes, and that 8th place once again belongs to the Dutchman, and the Frenchman is following him and will have to try again to get past. And that's Charles Leclerc on Kimi Räikkönen. Leclerc's been right on Räikkönen's tail in the opening part of the lap, and that is the Ferrari of Kimi Räikkönen. It is Räikkönen down there, pulling over and parking, and his final race for Ferrari ends on the pit straight.
What's happening? I don't have power.
Fail Delta 34 on. Fail Delta 34 on.
Marshall's going to have to judge this very, very carefully. If they pull the Ferrari into the pit lane, whoever's rocketing in to make a pit stop, okay, right, that's clear. The Mercedes is clear, and it is race leader Lewis Hamilton. So this is pretty early, considering the tyres he's got. Could have gone for another 10-15 laps, especially with a safety car, but that is a pit stop to the end of the race.
There we go, and he's already passed Verstappen.
He certainly has. That looked a little bit easier for Lewis Hamilton on Max Verstappen than it proved to be for Esteban Ocon. But guess what? Verstappen picks up the DRS and the slipstream, pulls out from behind the Mercedes, and he's going for it again. Doesn't leave much room as he closes the gap on Lewis Hamilton, shuts the door on Lewis Hamilton, and he is back up into fourth. Max Verstappen has got past Sebastian Vettel because of this. Sebastian Vettel making his pit stop at a slow pit stop, Ted Kravitz, 3.7 seconds.
No, and that's going to ruin the undercut attempt. This was an undercut attempt on Valtteri Bottas. Nice stop, not the quickest we've ever seen, but nice and steady for Valtteri Bottas. A little bit of a kick in the rear as he comes out. He should clear Sebastian Vettel pretty easily.
Verstappen pits.
Yeah, so Verstappen pits, and is this the undercut then for Red Bull that's going to allow Verstappen to get past his teammate Daniel Ricciardo, who carries on leading this race from Lewis Hamilton. But when do Red Bull now pit?
2
Daniel
seconds
Ricciardo.
flat. Sorry, Copy. 2 seconds flat. It looks seamless, didn't it? It barely stopped.
And is slowing down to a crawl here. Man who started 6th in Brazil last time out, retired from that race because of damage to his car. Started here 12th on the grid, which is the best ever start in Abu Dhabi, and it's going to go the same way, I think, as Brazil.
Pushing is not power at all. Okay. Sorry, stop it.
He's gone in the Formula 2 paddock.
Yeah, he has, which is a very sensible thing to do. As Grosjean this time has a much better opportunity of getting past Stoffel Van Dorn. Van Dorn made it difficult for him. Now Esteban Ocon's arriving on the scene as well, and he fights back Van Dorn, but in doing so allows Ocon the opportunity to get alongside him out of that chicane. And Grosjean ahead of Van Dorn, ahead of Ocon, but all three could be going in side by side to the next braking zone, and Grosjean's lost out. Van Dorn's ahead, Ocon's ahead of the Haas, and that's a lovely move there by Stoffel Van Dorn. We're on board with Esteban Ocon. The McLaren's in front, not for long, but he's back again. Here's Van Dorn, and just getting his lines absolutely right, forcing the Force India to go the long way round. But now can Ocon do a little cheeky dive down the inside at turn 14. He's going to try it, should get better traction on Van Dorn coming out of that left-hander. Now goes round the long way round the outside at 160 miles an hour, but goes too deep into turn 17. Rejoins the track ahead of Van Dorn. Does he need to give that place back?
He didn't gain a place off the track, but
kept ahead though, didn't he?
It is. It's something we always debate, isn't it?
As into the pit lane comes the Red Bull crew for Daniel Ricciardo.
Super softs.
Super soft tyres to go on to the end of the race, not the hyper soft tyres that was an option for them. Once again, a very, very neat pit stop. Round of applause for their final pit stop, scheduled pit stop of the season, 2.2 seconds. Here comes Sebastian Vettel on Valtteri Bottas. Now, has Bottas made an error on this particular lap, and is that given Vettel a chance to nick second place here?
Absolutely, because Bottas will be slow out of that chicane. It'll be Vettel who gets DRS. Bottas has to stay on the inside. There's nothing he can do about it. Bye-bye, second place.
Well, Valtteri Bottas was looking good in second place, and Sebastian Vettel has just swooped past him.
Previous fastest lap was a 43.0. He's done a 41.2, and he's 14 seconds off the lead. There's Daniel Ricciardo, and there's no traffic coming into play for a while.
Now, what is happening here with Valtteri Bottas? That's another lock-up there for him, this time on the back straight and into turns 8 and 9. And Verstappen's closing in, and he might, I don't think he's got DRS, he hasn't.
He's trying to let him through. I think Bottas is trying to let him past, knowing that he's gone way off the track. It seems like slowing the pair of them down. And he's out of line again. Bottas out of line through turn 9. So with DRS, I think Verstappen, if he's got any battery power left as well, is going to have a great chance down in the braking zone. Bottas got to stay completely left, make sure there's no space down there. That's what he's done, but once again, he's miles out of line now.
Oh, that's clever by Verstappen. He went very wide to the right-hand side, switched back, and he's put Valtteri Bottas off the track as well in squeezing his way past. They love that down at Red Bull. That was a really clever move by Verstappen. Is there space down the inside? Last of the late breakers, Daniel Ricciardo hits past the Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas, puts himself up into 4th place, gets a lovely exit out of the chicane, all the grip that he would want there, but can he now fend off the Mercedes, who's coming back at him? Verstappen into the chicane, Ricciardo into the chicane, Bottas into the chicane, Ricciardo just ahead of Valtteri Bottas. He's got the move done, and he can now accelerate away. Esteban Ocon, who will be reserve driver for Mercedes for next season, finishes off his final race for Force India with a retirement. And he holds the record for the most consecutive finishes at the start of his Formula One career, now retiring, stopping in a very bad place.
I lost all power.
Stop now, stop on track in a safe position, stop on track in a safe position now. Check if there is fire. Check if there is fire at the back.
Doesn't surprise me.
Check if there is fire behind.
There's a point here for grabs, mate. There's a point here for grabs. Let's go get him. Let's go get him. More performance. Multi C2, position 1, please. C2, position 1.
I have 1,800 points.
Well, for me, make it 1,801.
From Monza onwards, it's looked more like it's going to be Mercedes. It has been Mercedes. It has been Lewis Hamilton. Car number 44 has really been the number 1 once again. He comes home to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and to crown a championship-winning season with victory in the final race. Sebastian Vettel follows his home as runner-up here and runner-up in the championship as well. Max Verstappen finishes on the podium for Red Bull. Daniel Ricciardo a couple of seconds adrift in his final race for the team before he moves to Renault.
Yes, get in there, Lewis. What a way to see out 2018. Awesome work today, mate. Awesome work all year.
Champ, what a career. Thank you. Thank you. You're a champ. Let's go win the Triple Crown.
Zach Brown, CEO of McLaren, who will be running Fernando Alonso in the Indy 500 next year. Mercedes Constructors Champions, Lewis Hamilton Drivers Champion. The celebration! And it's time for some champagne. Lewis Hamilton standing on top of the podium, standing centre stage, and he has taken centre stage in this season. In 2018, 21 races run and complete. Mercedes on top once again. It's been a brilliant year. Can't wait for 2019.